Faith Church, hope you're well. It's Friday, January 21st. And, we've been looking at the last several weeks this idea that Jesus calls us to be his disciples or his apprentices, that he calls us to give our lives to seeking after him first and foremost above all other priorities. And really, the way I've framed that is to say that the goal of Christ's life for us is that we would learn to increasingly live life the way he would live life if he was in our shoes. And I know that for some of you and some of us, that can be discouraging to look at our lives as they are now and to think of the way Jesus might live his life, our lives if he was in our shoes, and we think, I am so far away from that in my life that it can be defeating even. The way we need to think about this, though, is that Jesus doesn't expect us to come follow him fully formed right off the bat. I've used this analogy with a couple folks recently. My brother-in-law some years ago became an apprentice with a master woodworker. And when he showed up on the first day of the job, imagine if the master woodworker said, well, what's your woodworking skills? And he said, well, I know nothing about woodworking, so I really am not fit to be an apprentice. I know nothing. Now, of course, that wouldn't have happened. That's why he's an apprentice. He shows up the first day and he knows nothing, but he's still an apprentice. The second day, he knows a little bit more. The second week, a little more than that. Second year, he's becoming more proficient. It's a journey that you enter into, not a position that's static. And I think it's very similar when we come to Christ as his apprentices, as his disciples. We don't come fully formed at all. We come with our lives looking perhaps nothing like Jesus' life, but we enter into walking with him, and over time, over the course of us submitting to him and seeking after him, and by his grace, we begin to be changed. It takes an entire lifetime to see this formation, Christ formed in us, to happen. So it's really a matter of just that initial step of deciding whether we want to follow him, to begin to live life on his terms, or if we want to continue to live life on our terms. Who are we going to allow to be Lord? Who do we want to be Lord of our lives? So I want to encourage you in this. Now, some of us, some people, many people are going to choose no. They don't want to apprentice Christ. But the reason for not following Jesus should not be that you don't look like him. That's the point. That's why we begin to follow him and he begins to shape us. And we're going to finish up this Sunday, this series on what it looks like to be an apprentice and what that means. And then the following Sunday, we'll begin to talk about how. How do we actually begin to be changed? And it's intensely practical. So I'm looking forward to that. Grateful for each of you. Looking forward to worship with you Sunday. Wherever you are today, I pray, as always, that you would sense the love of God as your Father, and the grace of Christ his Son, and the fellowship of the Spirit. Peace.